Hey, Jules Blessed Vegan, and as always, welcome to my channel. And for those of you who are new, I know you can benefit. I'm in the dark, people. No, we're not having a power outage. I just got blindsided today, just by a choice that somebody else made, and I had to take time to reflect and decide, like, what was my part in that, and what was I going to do about it. And it came down to God grant me the serenity. Because really, I had to ask for the serenity to accept the things I could not change. And then the courage to change what I could moving forward while honoring this person's decision. And finally, the wisdom to know the difference, which can take time, right? It can take time. So let's get in the light, shall we? The enlightening part was that I do have choices in every situation. And I don't have to abuse myself over it. Like I knew my truth and my part, even though that was doubted. And I just had to honor myself and say, you know what, I'm not eating over this. I'm not going to abuse my body, which is what I've done in the past. I always think that certain food will be comfort. It'll never be the answer. It'll never be the answer. What is my why? Which always has to be bigger than that binge. And of course, my why is I am trying to preserve my kidneys. I am trying to extend my life, right? By eating healthy, by eating vegan, by striving for raw vegan whenever possible. And to do that momentary binge on what certainly would have been standard American diet or certainly vegan junk food will not fix anything. And sometimes that's hard in the moment because it does seem like it would satiate me for a second, But no, it'll never be the answer. It'll never fix anything, And so as difficult as today was, and again, it's a choice somebody else made that greatly affected me. I was grateful for the grace to sit in the feelings, to not act out in a way that was going to be harmful to me. And I'm kind of seeing that, back in the 12-step program, working the steps and just recognizing that as a child, when I couldn't control things, I tended to harm myself. And I certainly see that today, right? A lot of kids are cutting and doing things, playing Russian roulette with pills, which I'm familiar with. Different things like that, where it's like if I can't harm anything else, and certainly, handle or control anything else, I'll control that. Or certainly with food, right, which is so primary from our littlest days. And I have one of those insane memories where I literally remember what I was eating at 2 and 3 and 4 and things like that. And, just the idea of the anorexia, the bulimia, the ultimate binging, right? And just controlling and ultimately punishing myself using food. And I wasn't going to do that. I was going to let myself feel the feelings, which is really hard, and not punish myself in the interim, And so I really was going through that serenity prayer and saying, grant me the serenity to accept what I can't change. I cannot change that person's decision, and I'm not even going to try. I'm going to honor what they chose by letting them, move on. And accept what I can change. And again, that's just kind of me seeing how I might approach the next situation in maybe a healthier way or more, better rounded way, whatever it is. And then God's grace in knowing the wisdom of the difference between the two. And that's just prayer over time. Like, honestly, if it was a math problem, it'd be prayer over time. And I'm just like, happy to be on the planet. I want to just be grateful for the time that I had with that person and not spend time lamenting what isn't. And I know I did a video on this before, but what comes to mind is that rejection can be God's protection. And when I heard that, I didn't like it. I was just like, well, I don't care, because I don't care what God's doing to protect me, because I'm hurting and I don't like to be rejected. And that's straight up. Call me human. I'm superhuman. But I can see why rejection sometimes is God's protection for how something may evolve down the line, you know? And I welcome that. I really do welcome that. And I am 2 years younger than God. And in the second half of my life, you know, for which I have another 50 years, I really am just coming to the point where it's just getting easier and easier to accept other people's choices and to let go. I mean, yes, it hurts, right? So much. It hurts so much. But I think what hurts more is holding on to something that isn't valid. You know, when something isn't authentic and you're still smiling and you're still like playing the old or responding in the same way when it's no longer authentic, hurts everybody. That just hurts everybody. So I definitely welcome people being true to themselves and moving on if that's what they feel they need to do. But in God's grace, I see how that rejection could ultimately be my protection. And I certainly welcome that. So I just wanted to check in, you guys. I wanted to give myself a shout out for not eating over it, you know, for not giving in to the nonsense, for allowing myself to feel, you know. And like anything, lamenting and certainly when I'm in a form of mourning, really, for when change comes quickly and unexpectedly, it's kind of like pulling a Band-Aid. Ouch, right? And so I will have to visit it more than once, you know, which if you did have an injury and you had to change the Band-Aids over time, you'd be coming back twice a day initially, and then as it continues to heal, a little less frequently, and then finally no Band-Aid at all. And I will be revisiting this over the next few days because as much as I felt that I was in the dark, I'm willing to look at my part, like I said, and just see it as an opportunity for growth, right? But ouch, sometimes change hurts. All right, my friends, like if you like, join us if you haven't, subscribe. Let me know in the comments below how I may support you. And until we talk again, best of all, know that I'm stoked you're part of my JBV community and you make me feel blessed.